Welcome to Talking Live. I'm Dr. Robi Ludwig. We are here in the middle of Times Square at the Star Shop studio. We have a very exciting show for you, so please feel free to share it with all your friends if you're watching us and to ask your questions so that we can respond to you. It's all about the great white, bright smile today, and we have Star Shop's celebrity dentist, Dr. Marvin Brody, who is here to share all of his celebrity dentistry secrets with all of us because everybody wants that great white smile. I know I do. It's something that I'm always pursuing and noticing about people. So today's your day. If you have any questions or you want to share this great show, please do. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to the fabulous Dr. Marvin Brody. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Dr. Robi. It's my pleasure to be here, and it's just a fantastic time I'm looking forward to. I've been anticipating this for quite a few weeks.
I know. We had been trying to get the right day and the right week together, and finally we made it happen. It's really interesting, not only the field of dentistry, but also celebrity dentistry and cosmetic dentistry, and then to marry that with television, because you also have this amazing whitening kit, which you have sold through Star Shop Studios, and people can go to the Star Shop app and actually get this, which is Dr. Brody's premium teeth whitening system. So we could probably even go through it later today, but anyone can order this. So the best question gets a free kit. And anyone can order it on the Star Shop app because we have Star Shop's dentists. So how did you get into TV and developing products for television?
Yeah, I've been doing this well over 3 decades. And, for about the first 20 years, I was just basically in my office working away. I was a professor also at NYU teaching dentistry when a very dear friend of mine, who was actually a watch designer, challenged me. He was a watch designer for a vendor on HSN, home shopping. And it turns out that he challenged me and said, you're out there, you're always speaking, making presentations. I bet you can't get on television. And I said, the one thing that you don't do to me is challenge me and think I'm not going to rise to the occasion. So I went out and I literally sat and worked once a week. I would go out to a lab that I affiliated with to develop a product, to develop a tooth whitening product. Went through the whole process, spent a year of my time doing that. Finally got in front of the buyers at HSN, and they loved it. I'm going on air.
Now that's not an easy thing to do. How did you find the people at HSN? Because usually that's like top secret. People are not sharing that information. Yeah,
it was actually a very strange coincidence. As I was supposed to speak to actually one of the lowest level buyers, kind of, just to get an introduction. It turns out that she was sick that day, so the head of merchandising had to fill her spot. And when I made my presentation, I'm a very passionate guy when I present and speak about things that I really love. And cosmetics and teeth whitening is something that even after 33 years in dentistry really, can gets me, still can get me excited. Yeah. And she said, actually, after the presentation, she turned to me and she said, I'm going to let the product go on, but you have to do the shows.
Oh, wow.
Because I don't meet people with that much passion.
Wow.
So you have to do the shows. So what happened right before we were going on air, HSN signed an exclusive agreement for cosmetics with a major national company, and I got bounced. And I never made it. But I packed up my bags. I didn't say no. I didn't say it's over. I'm not going back. I went over to, at that time, Shop NBC, where I got to meet the iconic Marvin Siegel.
Yes, Marvin is the COO of Star Shop, who's a friend of both of ours.
And from then on, let's put it that way, he's like brothers, and we ended up, I couldn't give up television after that.
Marvin should probably write a book on how to develop really good, sincere, fast friendships, because nobody makes fast friends that are deeper and more meaningful than Marvin so quickly. He should write a book. Marvin, take note of this. But let's now go to the whitening.
Right.
So one of the things that I really notice about people how white their smile is, and especially with high definition television, sometimes I'll look at the anchors and evaluate how white or bright their smile is. Now, is the whiteness of a person's teeth, and is it tooth enamel? Basically, is it genetic? Is it age related? Is it a combination?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, one of the major issues is that as people age, there's a mineralization of the enamel. So sometimes it's absolutely unavoidable that teeth will yellow or get darker, or actually not so much yellow, but get grayer.
Yes.
Now when they get, and it's really unavoidable, and I have patients coming into me who are scrubbing away at their teeth, and I say, this is not your fault. It's not that you're not doing your home care correctly.
Yeah.
In fact, just as a little side note to protect a lot of people out there, don't scrub like crazy if it's not stained, because you wear away your gums and then you end up with gum problems. So that's just a little aside off of the cosmetic end, just for everyone to understand. A little advice. But at that point, it's more of a choice. You know, when you're younger, you may want to just say, hey, I want to brighten, I want to spruce things up. As you get older, the remineralization takes place, and you feel a little more compelled to want to make that brighter smile. And that's really the way I go to to approach my patients in that fashion. And I want them to realize that no matter what their age is, and it doesn't matter, like I said, if they're 40, 50, 60, 90, you know, their best age is now.
Yes, their best age is now. So
it's a little plug for you there, Robbie.
You definitely want, your best age is now is my book. And so one of the things that I'm very aware of is when people want to look young and youthful, and I think we associate a whiter smile with a more youthful smile, even though certainly younger people, like I know my son has never had white teeth. He is, and it's just because he was born with something on his teeth that he'll have to take care of maybe via you. But in terms of people who want that white smile that we see on celebrities, how can we achieve that? Because there are various choices that people can make, and some are very, very expensive that are just not affordable for everybody. And then there are the more reasonable options for people. So if we were to go with the more reasonable options, what would that be?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the first thing that you touched on, which was really very important, was that because I have the longevity in this profession, I can tell you is that when we first started out, whiter teeth was, you know, and even cosmetics and cosmetic dentistry was really looked upon more as a self-centered, very vain kind of a person. You know, you were very vain if you wanted to get into cosmetics, especially in dentistry. Today, it's not a matter of saying someone is self-centered or vain or shallow. Cosmetics right now is what gives the boost to self-esteem, self-confidence. It gives you the edge. We're in a competitive market. We're in a competitive world.
So you're not a narcissist or completely self-centered if you want a white smile.
Exactly. Today, it's almost crucial. Because if you're going to walk into that interview, into a job, you know, that's what you're going to feel. Number one, that's the first thing that's going to be seen. But secondly, your self-confidence and your self-esteem is going to be so much greater going into that interview or meeting that new boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yes.
It's, you know, it's so critical. And I'm not trying to jump into your profession, but that is, but that's exactly,
you absolutely should.
But that's exactly how I approach my patients. You know, I look at it in that fashion.
I'm just getting so many questions. We're talking about teeth whitening, and we're getting so many questions. Did we go over the less
No,
expensive?
so I want to go. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go into that, because there really are, you know, numerous levels of how we can achieve that whiter, brighter smile.
Now, let me ask you something. Baking soda?
Baking
good or
soda,
not good?
Baking soda, great for your gums.
Okay.
Good for removing stain.
Okay.
But whitening meaning getting into the enamel and actually making a whiter tooth, not so great for that.
Okay.
So remember though, a lot of the darkness, a lot of the time you have the browning, it is because of stains. So
Okay.
baking soda can help.
So that's
Okay?
like, that could be a first preliminary. It's inexpensive and you can determine what stains, right? And what is the whitening issue.
Exactly.
Is that a good, like, would you recommend that for people at home?
Back in the day, before whitening products were around, we actually used to recommend mixing a little bit of hydrogen peroxide into the baking soda as a
Okay.
combination. And actually,
Would it poison people?
no, I didn't tell you to drink the hydrogen peroxide, Robbie. I told you just to
I missed
make
that
it.
class in
No,
science.
we're just creating a little paste so
Right.
that you can actually brush
This is
with
what
it.
happens when you take first
Okay,
science in
that's
high school, right? Now, I have a question from somebody who is a sommelier, and actually she is a world-renowned wine expert. And she said because she's a wine expert, she is vulnerable to having those teeth stains every once in a while. What would you recommend for somebody who has a business where either they have to taste foods or wines that actually can
Right.
stain the teeth?
In those situations, number one, brush maybe a little more often, number
Okay.
one. Because remember, if something doesn't stay on your tooth, if the stain doesn't get to linger around long enough, it's not going to stick to the tooth.
Okay.
So therefore, we can avoid that, number one. Number two, there are also, as we can direct right back into
we look at your
into
kit?
a home, don't let anything fall out. You gotta do it this way,
Marvin's
right.
very protective.
There you go.
Okay,
I have to
there
be
we
very
go.
protective. You can open this up and it'll all fall out the wrong way.
I would do that. Why
but
don't you show us what is typical of a home whitening kit or your whitening kit?
Yeah, and you see, and the key
And
to
how much
that,
does something like this cost?
this costs about $49.99.
Okay.
Okay, on starshop.com
Great,
or
so-
Starshop's app. It's about a tenth the price of doing an in-office treatment. And really what we call this at Starshop, and what I termed, and the reason why I developed this exact style product was because it's an office in a pouch.
Okay.
That's exactly what I developed because I'm a very pragmatic dentist. I don't say it's my way or the highway, meaning if you can't afford $500 treatment in my office downstairs, there are alternatives. And that's why I wanted everybody to be able to have a whiter and brighter smile. And the way to do it is by taking every component that I would use in a $500 treatment and incorporate it literally at a tenth the price. So I've got whitening gel, which is of very high quality. Now, I've done something else which no one else has done. I copied the rule of if we remember way back, we all know about Dell computers. What was Michael Dell's brilliant? He never built a computer until you ordered it. Well, my lab does not fill your whitening solution until you order it. You will get the freshest, most efficient working whitening material rather than going and having something sit on a shelf for 6
How long
months.
does this last? The whitening
This
gel?
this will last about 6 months.
Okay.
Okay.
How young can you be to use it, and how old can you be to use it?
I don't recommend it going, a higher up teenagers is fine, 16
Okay.
years and above.
Okay.
Anything younger than that, we haven't done testing on, so I will, I wouldn't make a statement about,
Yeah.
what we can do. In terms of age, up to about 110. That's about, I can
There
go
you
to,
go.
I can go up to that
Right.
age, okay? But you see, we've incorporated the famous light into the whitening system to make it more efficient. What's the biggest problem that we have? Everyone's afraid to try this. Tooth sensitivity. Oh, I can't use
yes.
my whitening. It makes my teeth sensitive. That's the biggest thing. Well, nobody else is going to incorporate teeth sensitivity desensitizer.
Oh.
So you have no reason to not
Do you
want
put
to
that on
use
the
it.
tooth first?
No, actually, this would go if you had any sensitivity, you would just put it into your whitening trays, which are customizable for you to use.
Okay.
So therefore, you can apply the desensitizing gel and continue your treatment. Now, the one thing I give you, which is more than any other product in a way, is because even if you did your $500 treatment in my office, you must go and take a whitening kit home and continue to use the whitening agent
And so
afterwards.
it's not permanent. So I think it's important to know that even if you do some white brightening treatment, that you still need maintenance, right?
You
It lasts
still
about
need
a
maintenance.
year.
So what I've done is, after you do your in-office in a pouch treatment, I've included a whitening gel pen that you can carry with
just
you
put that.
and just put it right on your teeth. It's like a lip gloss.
Okay.
And you can put it right on your teeth.
I love it.
And you carry it with you. So we actually give you something to continue to maintain your whiter, brighter smile.
Now, just very quickly, because I'm going to get to a new thing that we are doing at Talking Live. We're going to ask real questions as part of our segment. But the other thing that people can do if they want to do a more expensive treatment in addition to a take-home is they can either have the whitening treatment in the office with the UV light, correct?
Right. Well, no, it's
No?
not a UV light.
It's not?
It's a regular light.
It's a regular light.
UV, very bad.
It's very bad. See, I'm
No,
killing
no.
people. Wrong show.
That's right. Wrong show. You're thinking when you see a blue light,
I'm
people think
thinking
it's
Discovery
UV.
ID. Where
no,
am I?
right, very bad. No, it's not UV light.
It's not.
But it's an
okay.
in-office treatment with a much stronger whitening agent that will work for about an hour and will give you that
How many shades
boost.
lighter does it get?
You can get anywhere from 6 to 10 shades lighter.
Right away.
Right away.
Okay.
But remember, I'm still going to send you home with this.
Okay.
Because this is really what maintains and keeps that whiter, brighter smile.
And the veneers too is something that's actually where you...
And veneers are really the step up.
Okay.
Beyond the whiter and brighter smile kind of thing, which is not a whitening
And
agent.
how much do veneers cost? Just
Veneers can run approximately $1,500 a tooth.
wow.
And that, so yes, if you wanted to do a real smile makeover, we're talking about possibly a lot of money.
Okay.
But the way I look at it is, if somebody's going to buy a car for $40,000, and guess what? They give you a 5-year warranty, and there goes the car right after that. Well, if you're going to spend $25,000 to remake your smile for decades,
right?
And it's not
Is it covered?
vanity.
Is it covered?
No.
Oh, all right. I was trying for all of you.
Sorry.
All right, so we
Okay.
are now doing a new segment on Talking Live called Real Questions, and we're putting you in the hot seat.
Hot seat.
For this one.
I do not know the questions.
Okay, yeah, this is
I
the
really
first.
don't.
Okay, Dr. Marvin, have you ever asked out a patient?
No.
Have you ever wanted to?
It is.
Is it not allowed?
I would like to maintain my license from the New York State Disciplinary Committee.
It's not allowed.
No.
So it's not allowed. I knew it's not allowed for therapists, but I wasn't sure for dentistry.
Let me put it this way: it would be quite unethical.
It would be unethical. Okay.
And besides that, my wife would kill me.
Yeah, that would be a problem. That would be a problem. Okay. What do you do, or what have you done if you've had a patient who has really bad breath? Because I ask this for two reasons, because bad breath can be a health issue, but it also can be uncomfortable. So what have you done, or have you ever experienced this?
Well, we have very thick masks. if it's really that bad, but on a bit of a serious note, even though it sounds funny, there are serious medical conditions that are tied to this. It's not just someone who may have poor oral hygiene, which is a possibility, but it's not really all that. There are other very serious medical conditions. And to be quite honest with you, if as a dentist I can pick out and point that out to a patient that they have some serious medical issue and get them to a doctor, we'll have done a great service.
Okay.
And without getting too gory, I'll leave the medical I'll leave the medical issues off the table.
But you don't want to share one of them because it sounds sexual, maybe in nature.
No, I mean acid reflux.
Okay.
Got to go to the GI.
Yeah, that could be really dangerous.
Sure. Listen, diabetes. We'll do that. So if I can, if somebody is unaware of a condition they have, I mean, we can literally save their life.
That's your role.
Sure.
Okay. The most bizarre thing as a dentist you've been asked to do by a patient. You were mentioning a story earlier today that I
can give you 2 or 3 right off the top of my head because, I mean, these took place, I kid you not, maybe 30 years ago, and I can tell it to you like that because they're a bit bizarre. But I will tell you, I had one patient walk in. He had his denture broken up into about 50 pieces. His German Shepherd chewed his denture into little teeny pieces. I said, listen, you need to go for a new denture. He said, no. If I put it together, can you repair it? He came back 3 days later like a jigsaw puzzle, put it back together, and I repaired it.
Oh.
Another great one was that I had you want to know the truth? She was my assistant a long, long time ago, and it was Halloween, and this was Thursday night, Halloween was Friday, and she said, listen, I don't want to buy those plastic fake fangs. I really want real Dracula fangs. So I said, okay, you know something? I'm going to do this for you. And I bonded on these really perfectly white, bonded on cosmetic fangs on her canines. Well, I told her, well, they're hanging off. Why don't just break them off, after the party? Well, Monday morning came in, and I did such a good job. They stayed on the whole weekend.
So there you have it. If you want fangs, then you can
fangs?
Go to Dr. Brody.
I'll do fangs too. You can't take yourself too seriously.
All right, so we want to just show Dr. Brody's whitening kit again because the best question basically gets a free kit, and also we want to make sure that everyone can get it on Star Shop Studio. Now, this you brought in an example of what your dental group does, which is actually right in this building as well. These are beautiful. And you have different ages as well, right?
Yes, so I exactly wanted to point out that this kind of cosmetic work, it's not for necessarily for the 20-year-olds or the teenagers who want to be all spruced up. I mean, I'll just give you an example. Row 1. This patient is 38 years old, this patient is mid-40s, and this patient is 58. And you want to know something? When you want to change, you want to change, and you want to be the best you are today.
Right.
And I feel very, very strongly that, I always try to make a connection with my patients because it's not just about teeth. When you're doing a cosmetic makeover, it's about personality.
Right.
It's about how are they going to, what do they feel they need? Because if you fulfill their needs, you're going to give them the self-esteem. You're going to give them the self-confidence. And so it's more than just fixing teeth.
And there was an interesting study done that it's not only the mind influences our psyche, but our body influences our psyche. So if we smile more, regardless of how we're feeling, it will influence our mood. And that's where you come in. So the person that loves their smile is going to smile more, engage in the world, and probably feel better about themselves.
And I'd point out just a couple interesting things that I had shown you before we started. Okay, I mean, this patient up here, I mean, she just couldn't smile. I mean, here you are, you're 38 years old. She would smile with her lips closed because it was really, it just really, really, really bothered her. I want to tell you, when you go from this to that,
it's like being a supermodel it's all of a sudden.
Yes, and by the way, she's not a model. She's actually works in security.
Now, how much did that cost?
About $23,000 to $25,000 to redo that.
Okay.
But you want to know something? If somebody wants to do it, I'll work out a payment plan. I'm not here. It's not, like I said, it's not my way or the highway.
Right, yeah.
I'd work out a payment plan. There are ways to fund this because it's so critical. We have to find ways.
Is there a way to do just the top and not the bottom?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm asking for myself.
Absolutely. You can do the top, especially most smiles do not show the bottom, so if you need to cheat, and then you're dealing with almost half the price. Yeah. So it's really not.
I was looking for a deal, people.
I know, we're negotiating. But this center case is really interesting because these happen to be veneers. Yeah. Now somebody found this to be cosmetic. I mean, someone put these veneers on and thought they were cosmetic. You know, the issue here was she came to me and she said, you know, it's driving me crazy. That tooth and that tooth are different heights. And it's just, I said, listen, that's why you have to connect with your patient. You have to understand what's in their heart and what's going to change. Well, we were able to do this.
Well, I thank you so much for showing us examples of all of the possibilities and for sharing with us too the simple ways that we can whiten and brighten our smile and smile more, go out in the world and feel great about ourselves. And if we want to up the ante, we certainly can get a whitening kit, and I will leave information about Dr. Brody. You can go to my Facebook page. You can share the show so that other people can also benefit and have a whiter, brighter smile. And thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next week on Talking Live with Dr. Robi Ludwig.